Hey folks, Zito here, and this week I want to talk to you all about the Vitpilen and Svartpilen 401's from Husqvarna motorcycles. Over the last 2 weeks, I actually had the pleasure of working for Husqvarna and shooting some creative content for them here in Canada, in our lovely city of Ottawa. And the concept essentially were just to, kind of produce some Canadian content where we have photos of the bikes in and around the city, and then also a couple videos. One was a video with my good friend Julie Burns, where we had a chance to ride out into the country, take the bike and go for a quick dip with our friend Morgan there and just have a little fun there. And then the second one was essentially like a quick skateboard clip where we're just, kind of integrating it into my life and, showing what a regular scene would look like normally just with me and my bikes and stuff like that. So it's just kind of fun to just kind of have a few things up for their social essentially. So of course I was paid for this work, and so full disclaimer there, I did work for the company, but these thoughts here are kind of my thoughts on the bikes when I had them over the course of the last few weeks there. And also additionally, I'm not a mega tech reviewer or anything like that by any nature, so if you're looking for extreme specifics on pegs or foot positioning or anything like that, I'm probably not the guy. I'm just kind of giving you my initial thoughts kind of over the last few weeks there. So between the two bikes, the Vitpilen is more of a street kind of cafe racer style motorcycle. It's got the lower profile clubman bars on that particular motorcycle. The wheels themselves aren't knobbed. They come as like sort of more slick road tires. And then it also comes without a skid plate, whereas the Svartpilen has a skid plate. It's got that higher profile handlebar, and it's kind of, got a little bit of off-road capability there. So more of a scrambler style with the Svartpilen. Between the two, I'd probably go personally with the Svartpilen. It's just more of my style. I like to take a bike out camping, and it's just, it just more speaks to me and what I like out of a bike and things like that. If you're a new motorcycler, and if I were to honestly do it all over again, I would highly consider the Svartpilen 401 there. Especially in the province of Ontario, where you hit that 500cc threshold or higher, your insurance rates go, you get quite the bump in insurance rates and everything like that. So a 401, honestly, it's great. It kicks really well. I'd go out to the country a whole bunch, and it would keep 120 no problem, and I'd be able to keep up on highways and stuff even. The tank goes for multiple hours. I found that I was kind of, getting up to 250 kilometers before I'd have to re-gas up and things like that. So, honestly, this bike, if I were to do it all over again, at a price point also of about $7,000–8,000 here in Canada, I think it's quite reasonable and a bike I would definitely highly consider and stuff. But compared to my KLR 650, my KLR is a goddamn horse when you're on top of that thing. It's, definitely several inches taller than these bikes. One other thing too was the cargo capability. I'm infamous for having bag mountain on my KLR, and that's, just on my back rack, I'll stack everything on there. On these bikes, with the front rack on the tank and also a backpack, I was pretty heavily loaded on these motorcycles. So, if you're trying to commute a ton of gear back and forth, that can prove to be a bit of a challenge. But what was definitely really nice about these bikes is that at stops and if you get into hairy situations, you can put your feet down really quite comfortably. You can almost be flat-footed, and it's kind of nice to have that extra control, whereas on the KLR, I'm almost always on my tippy toes, and I dropped that thing a whole bunch, so it's seen better times. Anyhow, overall, the last few weeks with these motorcycles were great. They rode really well. I personally really like the Svartpilen, and honestly, if I were to do it all over again, the Svartpilen would be right up there on the list of considerations there. And so, yeah, if you're into it, you should definitely check them out. But thanks a lot for checking this out, and yeah, more to come. Hopefully more woodworking and more work on the canoe next week. Peace.